Hey guys, this is Solution PODFIC, and today we're going to be reading The Right Substitution is Key by Addicted Apple. This is Chapter 6. Jason still felt emotionally raw when he made it back to one of his safe houses that evening. The plan had been to go out as Red Hood until the early hours of the morning, but after his conversation with both Tim and Alfred, he didn't feel up to it. Going out distracted and emotionally compromised was a surefire way to get hit. He was ready to spend the rest of the night reading until he felt like sleep was an option, but then Oracle's voice filtered through his helmet. "Red Hood?" she said. "Is everything all right?" Jason asked, suddenly remembering all the times Robin snuck out to patrol. "Is Tim—" "Everything is fine," Oracle said. "I wanted to talk to you." "Gonna threaten me again?" he joked, trying to ignore the dread filling him. Oracle had found out about him accessing the Bat computer. Why else would she be hacking into his helmet to talk? Shit. "No," Oracle said, her voice surprisingly gentle. "No threats. I wanted to thank you, actually, for what you said to Robin tonight and, well, everything you've been doing for Robin." Well, that wasn't where Jason thought this was going to be going, but he wasn't going to look a gift horse in the mouth. If Barbie wanted to talk about Tim, then Jason would absolutely oblige. He had questions, after all. "Yeah, about that," he said. "Why is it that I'm the one doing everything? Seems like you all just let the kid throw himself at the big bat, hoping it would temper his grief. You threatened me about not hurting Robin easily enough, but you couldn't tell Batman to give the kid a gold star once in a while? Hell, you couldn't have made the kid get a reasonable amount of sleep yourself? What's that about?" There was a long pause. "I really messed things up with the last Robin," Oracle said, which was not at all where Jason thought this conversation would go. "I never thought Jason should have been Robin. He'd seen so much darkness in his short life, that the darkness was a part of him, and I believed being Robin was only hurting him more in the long run. I guess I think that about Tim, too." "So only the original little bird was up to par, huh?" Jason said, trying not to let any bitterness reach his voice. "No," Oracle said sharply. "It's not about them being good enough. Maybe at first I thought Jason wasn't good enough, but then I saw how he made Robin his own. Jason was amazing. Even with all that darkness, he had so much light. You actually remind me of him a little in that way. Tim is amazing in a different way. He's uncharacteristically brilliant, but with Jason, the kid was like a brother to me by the end. And I don't like seeing my brother facing down all that darkness. When Batman asked for my opinion, I told Batman that Jason shouldn't be Robin anymore. I meddled in this situation because I really thought it would have been better for Jason if..." And Batman agreed, then, showcasing all of his usual emotional intelligence, handled it terribly. Before I knew it, my little brother was gone. Because I thought I knew it was best for him, and I meddled. And, I'm not Batman. I don't have a guilt complex the size of Jupiter. I know, logically, Jason's death wasn't my fault. But with Tim, I couldn't bring myself to stick my nose in again. And I couldn't bring myself to interview a spoiler either. I keep my distance because I'd already found out what happens when I try to look out for Batman's Robins. And the only reason I'm telling you all of this is because you've shown me what an idiot I've been. I regret what happened with Jason, but I took all the wrong lessons from it. These kids don't need someone telling them that they're wrong for doing what they're doing. They need more people there to help when they need it. They need people ready to intervene for their best interest and respect their goals. Just like you've been doing, so thanks for looking out for them." Yeah, Jason managed. "Those little brats grew on me. What can I say?" Actually, what could he say? Jason had not signed up for a third emotionally taxing conversation today. He hadn't signed up for the first two either. Shit, he missed Barbie. After all the tutoring and the literature chats and patrolling together, she basically had been his sister in the end. When he'd heard what she'd said about him, he'd felt especially betrayed. It was strange to hear his side of things and realize he'd almost fallen into the same trap she had. His original plans had been all about beating the Robin spirit out of the new little bird to keep them off the streets. Of course, that wouldn't have worked. Even the Joker hadn't managed to beat the Robin spirit out of Jason before the end. Why had Jason thought he'd be able to beat it out of Tim? That was just fucking stupid. Alright, Hood, I'll let you go. Have a good evening. Yeah, you too. The comm switched off. Jason picked up his book and decided he would process all that tomorrow. Of course, because Jason's life could never be easy. He only read about a chapter of his book before the shit really hit the fan. A goddamn fucking Arkham breakout. Exactly what this knight needed. Of course the Arkham sirens would interrupt his well-earned reading time. Why the fuck not? Jason called up one of his upper management goons. Boss? Louisa answered. I've already initiated juvenile escapee protocol. When someone escaped from Arkham, Hood's goons were supposed to check on the shelters, make sure everyone in Crime Alley had a place to wait out the trouble, and keep guard in all the major Crime Alley locations. Good, he said. Do we know who's out yet? Was hoping you would, Louisa said. I'll find out. He hung up the phone and went for his comms. What's the situation, Oracle? Not sure yet, Oracle replied. All the cameras in Arkham are down, and there's been no digital communication. Commissioner Gordon is being informed as we speak, and I expect he'll be lighting the bat signal soon. Robin is heading your way in the Batmobile with the bat suit, ETA 30 minutes. Sure enough, the bat signal lit up in the sky a moment later. No sense waiting for Robin, Jason told her. My people need to know what they're up against. He started getting his Red Hood gear on. You really think the Commissioner is going to take kindly to the Red Hood answering the bat signal? Oracle asked him rhetorically. Wait for Robin. Yeah, no. He shut off his comm and took to the sky, heading directly for the bat signal meeting point. He knew Barbie could turn the comm back on whenever she wanted, but it seemed like she was leaving him be. Maybe she was hoping the Commissioner would shoot him, and he had learned a lesson about listening to her. Red Hood doesn't bother with any sneaking as he drops on the roof in front of Commissioner Gordon. The Commissioner had his gun out and pointed towards Red Hood in an instant, but, to his credit, he didn't immediately start shooting. Red Hood held his hands up in a sarcastic surrender. Hey, Commish, he grated. The bat is a little busy, so I'm here for the gossip. The Commissioner somehow managed to look even tenser. What have you done to Batman? Hey now, not everything is my fault. Spoiler and Batgirl dropped into the roof, moving to stand between Red Hood and the Commissioner Gordon. Their backs to Red Hood. The Commissioner raised his eyebrows as he realized they were shielding Red Hood from him, and not the other way around. Slowly, he lowered his gun so it was pointing to the ground instead of towards the vigilante. What is this? Commissioner Gordon asked cautiously. Spoiler spoke up. Okay, so Batman really is just held up elsewhere. I know Red Hood is a bit of an acquired taste, but he's kind of nice actually. Like, yeah, he's an asshole, but also he's kind of nice. The commish did not look reassured. What? Where's Robin in his PowerPoint when you need him? Spoiler whined. What was the pitch again? Crime in Crime Alley has gone down by some kind of percentage since Hood's arrival. 61% decrease in crime, 22% decrease in adult overdoses, 79% for minors, 92% decrease in homeless minors disappearing. Oracle listed out over comms. Right, that, Spoiler said before repeating all of it for Commissioner Gordon. So, I know Red Hood is a bit crime lordy, but he's also very vigilante-ish to the people in Crime Alley. We all work with him a little now. Red Hood is not the kind of vigilante I wish to work with, the Commissioner said through clenched teeth. Oop, the Commissioner was pissed. Well, so was Jason. Hypocrisy like this tended to piss him off. Interesting, Jason said mildly. I wonder why that could be. I'm sure you know, the Commissioner said darkly. He looked like he was seriously considering lifting his gun back up, even with the girls standing in the way. Jason pushed his way between the girls to stand in front of them, giving the commish a clear shot. No way was he letting the girls stand between him and a gun when he was the one with all the body armor. Well, clearly you don't have a problem with vigilantes in general, Jason drawled, gesturing lazily at the bat signal. Which means your problem with me must be something else. Let's think about that for a second. Could it be the drug stuff? Except, no, it can't be that. Because I know the GCPD sells drugs from the evidence lockup all the time. You can't be mad at me for helping with human trafficking, because I do the exact opposite of that. And, hold on, the GCPD are the ones who have often contributed to the trafficking of children in the system. How silly of me. Maybe it's the killing. It's probably the killing, right? An interesting line to draw in the sand considering it's fine when Batman permanently cripples someone and drives them and their families to death with hospital bills, but shooting someone is off the table. I get that. Seems very reasonable. But wait, that can't be it, because you're a cop. We all know cops love shooting people to death. In fact, the GCPD have killed more people than I have in the last year. That's a true fact. You can look it up. They kill roughly 40 people per year, in fact, mostly people of color if we're being honest here. And I'm feeling very honest right now. They've killed people for everything from simple possession to absolutely goddamn fuck all nothing. Unless you count having the wrong look, of course. The only difference I can see, he continued, losing his casual tone in favor of letting his raw anger slip through, is that when I kill someone, I make absolutely fucking sure they deserve it. Maybe try stopping the killers in your own precinct before getting on my case, yeah? The commissioner still seemed pissed off, but now that was overshadowed by raw exhaustion. Looking at him now, all Jason could think was that the man was so tired. Jason found himself softening. Look, Jason said, you're actually a good guy, Commish, for a cop. And I know you're trying. If I thought for a second the violent crimes I sent your way would actually stay in prison or be rehabilitated, then I'd hand them over to you in a heartbeat. But we both know that the likelihood of that is statistically less than 12%. I'm not trying to be a dick, okay? I'm just saying, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So work with me here? The commissioner finally holstered his gun. For now, he said, mostly because I wouldn't be able to arrest you if I tried. But I won't let you go on like this. If we want things to get better, then we need to be better. I can't work with you in the future if you refuse to work within the confines of the law when that's possible. The reason I trust Batman isn't because of his no-kill rule. I trust Batman because he makes the effort to work to my standard whenever he can. He respects what I'm trying to do. You don't. I understand why you have the issues with the GCPD. Of course I understand that. But things won't improve if you don't give me the chance to improve them. With all due respect, Commissioner, Jason sighed, you've had that chance. You've been in charge for decades now. I'm not saying you haven't improved things, but the system is fundamentally broken. Innocent people shouldn't get hurt while Gotham waits for you to fix what doesn't want to be fixed. I need you to know that, despite everything, I do respect what you're trying to do. When the current crisis is over, I'm willing to talk about it. Maybe we can come up with some kind of agreement. The commissioner pinched the bridge of his nose. Never thought I'd be trying to reach an agreement with a crime lord. It's a crazy world we live in. Commissioner Gordon shook his head, rolled his shoulders, and cleared his expression. Maybe one day we'll come to some kind of agreement. The commissioner agreed stiffly. As you said, right now we have more pressing matters. Scarecrow has escaped. Alright guys, and that's the end of chapter 6 of The Right Substitution is Key by Addicted Apple. I hope you guys liked it and see you next chapter.